NESdrunk. Back when I was in the collecting game, which would have been over 15 years ago at this point, anytime I bought games online from an eBay auction or wherever, sometimes the seller would throw in an extra cartridge or two, just to be nice or just to get rid of it. So for example, if I bought a package of games like Contro and Bubble Bobble and whatever else, I might get an extra bonus card, and it was almost always a sports game since people didn't usually buy those and they were hard to get rid of. But sometimes it'll be a game like Wrath of the Black Manta. No, not that Black Manta. For some reason, I've managed to obtain this cart 3 different times over the years without asking for it. All 3 times it was a throw-in. Every time I got it, I had the same reaction, like, oh hey, it's this game again, and I'd play it for about 15 minutes and eventually say, alright, I get the idea, and then put it away and forget about it, until eventually I'd notice I have multiple copies of this game and feel compelled to give them away. I don't bring this up to slag Wrath of the Black Manta. It's a mostly okay action platformer for the NES made by Taito and released in 1990. It's just that it's yet another mostly okay, mostly average-ish platformer on a console where there's like 4 dozen average platformers, so it kind of gets lost in the shuffle a bit. But it is actually a pretty entertaining game. Let's get the basics out of the way. You get a life meter with 3 lives and 4 continues to get through 5 levels with no saves or passwords, and you play through the game as a big, slow ninja who's built like a fullback. I don't know, I guess I'm just used to ninja games where the dude is real small, like in Ninja Gaiden or Shadow of the Ninja, and meanwhile Black Manta here is built like Tom Rathman. There's a few things that make this game stand out a bit. First is that you get a new power-up after completing each level with the ability to choose which to equip before each level starts. There's 10 abilities total, but they're divided up into 4 groups, with each ability having its own input sequence. For example, you start out with 4 abilities. One is a fire wheel, and you just hold the B button, and then hold either left or right, and let go of B. You can also learn to make it rain fire, travel underground, shoot a homing attack, and make a double of yourself on top of yourself, just to name a few things. The level design throws you a couple curveballs, like where you steal a kite and float around like Rocky the Flying Squirrel as you shoot magic ninja fireballs at enemies, or in the last level here, where the game occasionally switches to a first-person perspective. The game also does the Ninja Gaiden thing with story sequences, only it's if they're written by Dare. See, you have to go around rescuing kidnapped kids, and then you yell at them about using drugs. There's that pesky Reagan Bush administration poking its nose in there. I've read that you can still complete the game without having to rescue any kids at all, but they do give you clues to find other stuff, so it's usually worth your while. Anyway, you can either kill guys with your knife and ninja stars, or you can sneak up behind them and try and shake them down for info. Some clues are useful, and some are the typical cryptic Nintendo crap. Come on, Vincent Price, give me something useful. Well, that's fun and all, but the action in this game gets to be pretty repetitive to the point of ridiculousness. You will be spending a lot of time ducking behind a barrel and waiting for the exact split second to shoot. All I can think of is the gag from Naked Gun 2.5. Wrath of the Black Manta is pretty much the video game version of this scene. But yeah, much of the gameplay is just walk to the right, enter a room, clear out the bad guys, rescue a kid, get a clue about a hidden door somewhere, then it's on to the next room, and keep repeating that till you get to a boss fight. The flying stage and the gallery shooter stage are a nice change of pace, and the story scenes can be pretty entertaining, like when you rescue Donny Osmond here, or just really how some of these criminals fold like accordions by the weakest threats, like, oh, you're gonna get a talking to from the police commissioner now, and the guy gives up everything, only for the Black Manta to mock him. Oh, you think you're cool with your drugs and your giant meaty face and a crew cut you can set your watch to? But you're not, man. You're not cool at all. The character portraits throughout the game are great. Most of them look like Dick Tracy villains, although they throw in the occasional normal-looking person like my first-grade teacher, Miss Brisson, here. So yeah, Wrath of the Black Manta is okay at best, one of those games where I wouldn't call it good or bad, but I would still call it fun just for the silly interrogation scenes and all the goofy dialogue here. The actual gameplay isn't bad, it's just kinda dull, and I can't help but feeling I'm playing a Dollar Tree version of Rolling Thunder. Among the endless number of NES action platformers, I'd rank this one behind games like Shatterhand and Kabuki Quantum Fighter, but ahead of games like Low G-Man and Adventures of Rad Gravity. It's far from a classic, but it's not bad either. Alright, that's all for now. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.